You're watching Quinn Shinobi 17.
Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Do we have a movie to talk about? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's Quinn Shinobi 17 here. Today, guys, y'all see the screen. We are about to review possibly the best movie, well, not best movie, best horror movie this year. And that is none other than Obsession. But before we get into this video, I just want to say I hope you guys enjoyed that absolutely masterful intro that my friend made, my best friend. If she's watching this, thank you so very much to the bottom of my heart. It's an amazing intro that is peak. It is just peak. So thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to her making this intro for me. This is gonna be an intro that's gonna be in every, not in my console videos until I'm probably gonna do editing stuff, but besides that, it's purely going to be on like videos that I screen record from my phone. You know what I'm saying? So like reactions, reviews, Shinobi Horror Nights, like, you know, things like that. But yeah, but besides that, welcome to the review of Obsession. We have so much to talk about with this movie. And I mean so much to talk about. It's absolutely incredible. First off, I just want to say this movie is like low budget. Like, dude, this movie had a budget of $750,000. That, it may seem like a good bit for a horror movie on this caliber, but that's very low for this type of, for a horror movie and just a movie in general. You know, it's absolutely insane because usually movies would cost like millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Millions of dollars. But no, this is like low budget, man. Very low budget. But yeah, first of all, I just want to say this movie rocked my socks off, dude. Me and my amazing mother went to go see this movie. We both love a good horror movie, and just the sheer, just the sheer thought of everything that came through that came throughout this whole movie was just absolutely insane. I was left very dumbfounded after this movie. This movie absolutely rocks, dude. I really enjoyed the performance of Indy Navarrete, the actor that plays Nikki, the killer in this movie, or the possessed girlfriend, or not possessed, but like the obsessed, girlfriend in this movie, did absolutely just chef's kiss, amazing freaking job. From when you, and by the way, this is going to have spoilers, so if you haven't seen Obsession, I advise you leave, alright? Especially certain people that have not seen this movie that I've been recommending for a while to go see. Do not watch this video, alright? Please, go watch Obsession, come back and watch this. Alright, but yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Really enjoy Indy Navarete's performance as Nikki. Just the way I love when actors like go from one personality and then the second later or the minute later they go to a whole nother like dark place. It is just absolutely freaking insane, man. But still, like, dude, just the way she did it. Going from how she regularly is, you know what I'm saying, it's just a regular individual, you know what I'm saying, has her friends she hangs out with and whatnot, and then just when the wish was granted, that just humongous shift in her acting and her character, absolutely just incredible, absolutely incredible. And I really strongly feel she will get an Oscar. I know she has to get an Oscar. If she doesn't win it, then at least she was nominated for it. That shows just how amazingly well she captured just that character and just the way she acted out. Just absolutely phenomenal performance, man. Absolutely phenomenal performance. But yeah, really enjoyed the acting performances out of the actors. It was just absolutely amazing. Now, how would I rate this movie before we get into, the story and whatnot? Dude, solid 9 out of 10. Easily. I'm not gonna lie. Recency bias. This might low-key be in my top 5 horror movies of all time. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just purely putting it out there. This movie was just so gut-wrenchingly, insane. It really just boiled down. I was like, dude, I love this. This is how you make a horror movie. And just make it just grip you. It just grips you into the story. Just everything. This movie was just pure insanity. It was like, oh my goodness. There's an anime that I watched. It's called The Summer Hikaru Died. Really, really good anime. I love it. I highly recommend it. It's a horror anime. And watching that, I was just like, I felt the same way I felt of that with Obsession, but even more. That made me, his Summer Hikaru Died made me very, uneasy. It was just what certain scenes, I was just like, oh, did you just see that? It was insane. It was just so good. With this movie, I felt everything. I felt scared, uneasy, uncomfortable. It really captured just everything so freaking well. It was so good. And dude, it was just so freaking it was just so good. Dog, there's so much that just went into this where I'm like, dude, this is definitely a horror movie of the year. That and Evil Dead Burn. Yeah, I think it was Evil Dead Burn. Evil Dead Burn also looks really freaking good. So I could vary those two movies out. But specifically just for right now, absolutely masterful movie. Absolutely. So now, let's get into the story of Obsession. So, the story follows the main character. His name is Bear. Bear has a crush on this girl named Nikki. Nikki, played by Indy Neveready. And, his best friend Ian, I cannot wait to get into it with his character. But his best friend Ian is trying to help him out. He's like, hey, just do this and that. Just ask her out for a drink, for some coffee. Just ask her, bro. Don't be scared. And then, Bear and his friends were outside of the bar, whatnot. They were done hanging out. And, Ian couldn't take Nikki home. And then Bear said, okay, hey, I'll take you home. I'll do it. And then he did. And then, him and Nikki have a conversation. Nikki's telling Bear about something that she wrote or that she's writing. You know what I'm saying? And then they arrive at Nikki's house. They arrive at Nikki's house. And then this is where things start to get really freaking loose. Okay, but before we get into that, beginning of the movie. So yeah, we're introduced to Bear. We see kind of his lifestyle and whatnot. And his cat died at the beginning of the movie. And I'm going to tell y'all this. The cat has played such a very, very uneasy part in this movie. It's absolutely freaking insane. But, so Bear is very in love with Nikki. You know what I'm saying? He really likes her. And he goes to this very mischievous store, and he finds a thing called a One Wish Willow, and it's kind of like a wooden stick, a very long wooden stick, very bulky, and whenever you make a wish, you break it in half. So, back to what I was saying earlier. Bear drops off Nikki at her house, and Bear was trying to be like, hey, are you he's stuttering and whatnot. He's like, oh, never mind. I lost my train of thought. And then Nikki just came back. Nikki walked off. Sorry. And then there's a nickname that they call Nikki. They call her Freaky Nikki. And then Bear says it to her, and she doesn't like when she's called that. So then she comes back, she's very irritated, and then she's like, Bear, do you like me? And then Bear, being the bear that he is, shrugs it off, so he's and then Nikki walks off, you hear the door unlock, and she walks in, and then Bear's just oh my goodness, what am I doing? And then he looks in the back, he takes out the One Wish Willow, and then he thinks about it. He's holding it. He's like, I want Nikki to love me, alright? And keep this in mind. I want Nikki to love me more than anybody in the entire world. All heck breaks loose. And then you hear the door open, and then you hear I think she knocked on the window. No, she didn't. You hear the door close. Sorry. You hear the door close, and then Bear looks over, and then just like how it is on the screen right there, she's just standing out there. By the way, Brody, when I was talking about how this movie makes me uneasy, the dark scenes, not like dark scenes like, oh, she did this. No, I'm talking about scenes in the dark, bro. Oh my gosh, dude. Just there's a scene where Nikki was at Bear's house, right? And you could still kind of see her face, but like I said, it's mainly just dark. And then all you see is her beady eyes, just glaring out, and they stood out. And then it's just so bruh, incredibly scared, just not fully scary, but just uneasy type of scary. It's kind of ooh, bro, it's so insane. And there's a lot of scenes that involve a dark area. One of them I cannot wait to get into, because that definitely made me feel very uneasy. But yeah, so Nikki comes back. She's like, hey, do you want to come inside or anything like that? And then that's where things start to get very strange, So they start to warm up to each other a little bit. Bear's still feeling kind of confused, why is she acting like this all of a sudden? And we get now. I think I might have been skipping a couple of parts, but I'm just going to get to this part just because. So they work at a video store, or just some sort of store. Bear and the rest of his friends, and along with Nikki, and there is a scene where Nikki and Ian, they're in the not Nikki and Ian, Bear and Ian, they're in the back, and Bear is talking to Ian about Nikki, and then Bear's like, hey, has Nikki been acting kind of strange or whatnot? What's happening? What's going on? And then, I kid you not, this girl was up at the counter, right? And I love the one shot. Y'all know those, not one shots and then the camera walks. You know how horror movies have one wide freaking shot, and then something or someone is in the background doing something mischievous? Bro, there were so many instances in that movie where that has happened, and it's absolutely insane. There is a scene where, like I said, Bear was talking to Ian about Nikki. Bear's like, "Hey, she acting very weird." Hold on a second. I kid you not. Hold on, let me pull the camera. Okay. I kid you not. So I'm Nikki, right? I'm Nikki. All right. Just imagine, you're okay. This is the counter right here. Okay. All right. Bear and Ian are in the back. They're talking. They're chilling. I kid you not. She's over here, and then she slowly turns her head, and she stays like that the entire freaking time. Just staring, deadly, watching them two talk to each other. It was insane. It wasn't too uneasy. It was just very creepy, just the way that happened. I kid you not. It was insane, man. Absolutely insane. And like, bro, I was just so, just like, my goodness gracious, man. Like, it was just absolutely nuts. But like, so yeah, it's like she was like, and then like they do look back at each other, and then Nikki's just like, and then even then when they turn back around, she's still looking, and it's like, bruh, like what? Like I'm telling you, man, it just I feel like best experience wise is in the theater. It's just the best experience for this movie, absolutely the best. But man, dude, it. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, so we get back, you know what I'm saying, and you know, Nikki and Bear, they're bonding even more. They're having fun, watching movies together, they're talking, laughing, cooking together. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this the good stuff, you know? There's a scene, and this is where I was talking about the cat earlier. There was a scene where Bear comes into the kitchen, and Bear gets into the kitchen. He's wondering like why is there like I think she had like lay down like flower petals or somewhere, and he goes into the kitchen or a certain room, and he sees a setup with candles and everything, with the dead cat on the floor. The dead cat that Bear buried or put in the bag, whatever, on the floor. Dude, oh man, Nikki does the most insane things in this movie, and it's just so crazy. It's so crazy. But yeah, and then Bear's like, "What in the world is wrong with you? Why did you do that?" Like, and then Nikki's like, "I thought it would just, like, yeah." And then, like, she's like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. She was obsessed Nikki was insufferable. Like, dude, I kid you not. But it was just like, it's just like, man, dude, it's just, wow. Like, just when I saw it, like, just jaw to the floor. And that wasn't even the biggest jaw to the floor moment. There's an even bigger one that also involves the cat, which I was thinking about. And I didn't want to bring that. I did not want to jinx it. But it happened. It happened. And it's just insane. So there was I'm trying to wrap around a lot of the scene because so much happened in this film, man. It was just absolutely insane. So, as Bear and Ian, Bear and Nikki were getting along even more, it kind of also involved Ian and the other girl. I think her name was, I forgot her name. It started with an S, but she also plays a bit of a bigger role as well in this movie. But their relationship also affected pretty much their friendships with everybody else. You know, because like you can see on Ian's face, like, dude, like, what in the world is up with you and Nikki? Like, dude, like, y'all acting very weird. Like, this is not right. You know what I'm saying? And Ian's like, hey, dude, we're having a boys' night. Like, you could come, just please don't bring Nikki with you, because they're always together with each other. And Bear talks to Nikki, but it's like, hey, we're having a boys' night. We're having a boys' night. I'm so sorry, y'all. It's been a long day. But yeah, so he was like, hey, Nikki, like, I'm about to go out to a boys' night. And like, Nikki was like, oh, do you want me to go with you? And they went back and forth about it. And then it just happened to just end up with Bear bringing along Nikki. And this is where, oh boy, this is where the beef starts to get really serious. So they're playing Jenga, okay? You know, you take the blocks away, try to make sure it doesn't fall. But it's the type of Jenga where you pull a block and then it says something on it and you have to do something. So pretty much Jenga, but a more adult version of it. So they're playing Jenga, you know, and Bear's sitting across from Nikki, you know what I'm saying? Sitting across from her. And there is a block that Nikki pulls where we don't even know what is said on the block. They never explained that. But then she looks at it, and then she looks around, she smiles at everybody, she pulls out her phone, and then she reads a poem that involves Hansel and Gretel. And just the way, and then she's just looking at Bear as she's just talking about it, you know. It's just very unnerving. Everybody's in the room just like, you know, just like very confused, very uncomfortable. It was just absolutely freaking insane. And then it's Bear's turn. He pulls the block, and then the block says, kiss the person to your left. The person the Bear's left is one of his and Nikki's and Ia's best friends. The girl that I mentioned earlier. Nikki just gets up and has the biggest frowny face on her possible. So then, okay, I'm about to pull the camera again. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. So imagine this is the girl, right? This is the best friend, right? That Bear was supposed to kiss to her left. So Nikki gets up, right? No, all right, I'm Nikki, right? Gets up, walks over, stands there for a good minute, grabs the chair, pulls it back. Oh, like, bruh, everybody in the back and everybody just around them, just like, what in the world is up with this girl, right? Nikki then gets down, you know what I'm saying, in front of the Bear, you know what I'm saying? She has her arms on the chair, and then she's like, big kissy face on her. Bro, insane. Like, bro, and then like Bear's just looking around like, okay. And then he does kiss her. Just, bruh. Just insane, man. Absolutely insane. And like, oh my gosh. Just this like I said, the things Nikki does, bro, it's just absolutely just bruh. But yeah. So then, you know what I'm saying, they leave the party. Not they leave the party, but like after Bear kisses her, she's like, and like Nikki just rubs his face, just like, there's gonna be no one else in the world that loves you more than I do, or something like that. And even, and then this is where other things start to get out of hand. So, there's a scene where Bear is about to go to work, okay, and oh boy, like I said, Nikki does the most abysmal things in this movie. So Bear's about to go to work. He's about to say bye to Nikki, and whatnot. About to head out. He walks to the front door of the house. I don't know where or how this girl had mountains of duct tape all over the door, shutting trap for Bear, not letting him leave. And then Bear's just has the most surprised look on his face. And then he just tries to struggles to open it, you know what I'm saying? Insane. He closed the door, he has to work. Nikki just stands there okay, bye, I love you. And then just big smile on her face. The screen stays there for a good minute. I kid you not. I was in the theater chair just I thought something was gonna happen. And then when something does happen, you hear a very watery sound. This girl is just standing up, pee just running down her leg, bruh. I can't. I can't. This whole movie was just, insane. It just insane, man. The way this movie just went, it was just incredible. But yeah, Bear goes to work. Nikki did make him a lunch. This is where I was talking about the cat again. And I'm sitting in the theater. All right, I'm I could not trust this girl ever to just conveniently make me and hand me a lunch, right? And I was sitting down in the theater, while sitting down in the theater watching this, I'm just thinking, what is the what's the coincidence, right? But I'm not gonna say it. That's why I said. And then I waited. All right. Bear's at work. You know what I'm saying? He talks to his girl best friend. And you know what I'm saying, they're talking, they're chatting. And then she wonders what in the world is going on for lunch. She takes the sticky note. I forgot what it said on there, but it says something cat. Bear looks down, opens up the bowl with this lunch in it. Nikki cooked the cat that was dead. Oh. I couldn't. I really couldn't. Out of all the scenes, man, in this movie, that one was the biggest jaw-dropping moment out of all of them. This girl is nuts. Just absolutely nuts. And I'm just sitting there in distraught. Like, what in the world is wrong with this girl? Like, why? Just why? And then like Bear, he just like he looks at it, he's breathing very heavy. He grabs the trash can, throws up, and like, oh my gosh, dude. It was just absolutely insane. But yeah, man, I'm gonna skip a couple parts ahead. I'm probably gonna talk about the more insane stuff. But you know, Bear comes back from work, and then he sees Nikki. I'm talking about sweating, shirt hanging down, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like just mascara, just like, you know, all over her face. Like, dude, it's like oh, hey, like, and mind you, she was still in that same pose she was in when Bear left for work, and just man, dude. And then freaking Bear was just like, hey, go clean yourself up. And then he was talking about, why did you cook the cat, or did you cook the cat? And it was just like, bro. But yeah, man. I don't know if I want to talk about this movie any further, but there was also a scene where, well, there's like a midsection story where the girl best friend, like I said, I forgot her name, sorry, remind me in the comments. You know what I'm saying, she's trying to get accepted, right? And she kept on getting rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter. And there's a moment where this is where things get actually very, very interesting. So there were certain moments where obsessed Nikki is acting strangely like regular Nikki, right? There are moments where, like, she kind of like flips in, like, what in the world is happening? Like, oh my gosh. And then like she zips right back to being obsessed Nikki. One of those examples is back at the boys' night party, where after they're playing Jenga, right? She's like, oh, like, what in the world's going on? Like, stop, she has to stop. And then she grabs a bottle, breaks the bottle, and then bamming herself in the head, blood running down. She's laughing very weirdly, right? And you know, they go back home, and then she's just like, blood's still running down. You know what I'm saying? She puts her head on Bear. Now that we're getting into that, now I might as well talk about the dark moment, right? So, or the dark scenes, the dark themed scenes. So there's a moment where Bear's asleep, and he wakes up. It's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. He wakes up, and you know, he looks over. He's like, oh my god, like, Nikki's gone, right? I'm gonna move the camera again. All right. So Nikki's gone, right? Hold on, I'm gonna make my room very dark for you guys. Or at least I'm gonna try to. All right, Bear's asleep, right? So he's looking around. He's wondering, where's Nikki? Where in the world is Nikki at, right? And you remember how I was talking about the wide shots in those horror movies, right? So he's wondering, like, hey, Nikki, where did you go? All right, are you here? And then she's like, hey, yeah, I see you. Just go back to sleep. I'm just watching you sleep. And then she steps out from the corner in the dark. She's like, yeah, go back to sleep. You know, I'm just watching you sleep. I'm making sure you're asleep. And then, like, she's like, and then Bears is like, go back to sleep. And then this girl is just like, no. Backs right back up into the dark. No harm, no foul. Like, bro, I couldn't with this girl at all, man. I really could. It just, oh my, like I said, Indy Never End's performance is just the highlight, man. She just does an amazing job. You know what I'm saying, with what she did with Nikki, right? So yeah. There's another scene where Bear gets a call, and this is where I finally get to say this, because I wanted to say at the beginning of the video right before we get into it, but that's because I didn't want to go on a rant. But at this moment, and let alone for the even at the beginning of the movie, Nikki's really not the villain at fault. It's Bear. All this could have been prevented if this dude would have just confessed to Nikki. But no, he made a wish to make her obsessed. Like, why? So, there's a scene where the girl, the best friend, texts Bear late at night, alright? He's trying to make sure, he's looking over at Nikki while she's like holding on to him. And he's looking over, he's trying to grab his phone. So he grabs it. And then, you know, he pulls the phone over. He looks at the phone. He gets a text message like, hey, are you doing anything right now? Like, I wonder if we could meet up, or I could go to you so we could talk real quick. I got some stuff to really talk about. It's very important. It's serious. And then Bear's like, I can't. Like, right now, she's asleep. It's like, okay, I'm coming over to you. I'm coming over to you then. Or something like that. And then, you know, he does eventually get out the bed. So he gets out the bed. And then Nikki, not obsessed Nikki, real Nikki, still laying down in the bed, is like, Bear, are you there? Like, kill me, please. Alright? Don't talk too loud. She's asleep. Alright? Don't wake her up. How in the world? So even though that wish made her obsessed, she still has a little bit of consciousness left. You know what I'm saying? From the real Nikki. And then like Bear, oh my gosh. But Nikki just kept on saying, kill me please. And then Bear is like, so, like, what's so wrong with being with me? My brother! This girl is suffering to her core. And then Nikki, the real Nikki's like, I've never been with you, Bear. Or I never wanted to be with you, something like that. And I was like, bro, Bear. Like, dude, I felt so bad. Like, dude, like, genuinely, like, very bad. Cause, like, dude, Nikki was like, just, she was sweet, cool, alright, whatever. And then just all this happens, man. It's just like, it's so insane. All together. Man. And then, you know, he meets outside in the car with Bear meets outside in the car with his friend. And then, you know, they're talking about what happened at the party, like what in the world. And then she hands him another letter, an acceptance letter. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking, having fun, laughing together. Remember that shot where I talked about the widescreen and then you just know something's gonna happen? So there's a scene where you know, they're talking about the, you know, on your left kiss, right? And then, you know, it switches between the widescreen and Bear. Sorry, I keep looking over. I'm just thinking about this freaking movie. But they keep flipping back and forth between that scene and Bear. And then she says, well, I was on your left. Turns back to her scene. Nikki immediately busts through the window, had a cement brick in her hand, kept on slamming her face against the brick. bro, I really, bro, that scene, like, I low key almost, bro, oh my gosh, I almost got up from from the auditorium and just walked out for a second. I'm not joking, dude. It was just insane, man. Absolutely insane. So then, after that, you know, Nikki and Bear, they're like, okay, we gotta hide the body. Of course, we gotta go put the body somewhere. So they pick it up, bring it somewhere, hide it, and then just like Bear's like, okay, I'm completely done with this. He crashes out, and then he tries to find ways to just end the wish or counter the wish, you know, and then he calls the person who's involved with the One Wish Willow. And this dude sounds so like just, like, bro, like, hello. And then Bear's like, I need to tell you about, like, I need to ask you about, like, the wish. Like, is there a way to like make a new wish and whatnot, and or counter the wish, you know? And then he's just like, not unless you die. Like, and then he also says, like, oh no, you can't counter a wish. And then Bear's like, okay, so she's just stuck like this forever. And then and then he's like, well, yeah, unless you live, or if you live, or something like that. And then, like, bro, he was just like no help at all. And then, like, as the phone call kept going, like, you hear like screams in the background that sound like Nikki. I'm like, dude, what in the world is going on? And the director, Curry Barker, did confirm that there is no demon or no entity in this movie, involved with this movie at all. So this is purely just a wish that just he wanted. There's no demon entity that's taken over Nikki or nothing like that. She's just very, just insane. So yeah, there's no other way that Bear could try and do anything about it. So then I think the dude did say, like, unless someone else makes a wish for you. So when Bear got another One Wish Willow, right? He was crashing out. He's like, I need another one. Where did they go? Like, where's the One Wish Willow? And the dude's like, hey, the dude at the counter's like, hey, dude, like, what in the world is going on with you? Like, you good? And then he looks over. He's like, bro, what is wrong with you? Bear's like, what's wrong with you? And then, like, he talks about the wish that he made and whatnot. And the dude at the counter's like, hey, dude, I made my wish. I'm all good. So, like, it's just, like, insane. So not all the wishes in this movie that someone makes, that's an indication that not all the wishes you can make can end out in an absolute hellfire. So then Bear, when he tried to make another wish, he couldn't break it because he already made his wish. So then he goes to Ian. Ian's very mad, like, dude, like, just go away. I have nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Bear's crashing out. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, just when you take this out, just make a wish and whatnot. He's telling Ian about the wish and, like, what's going on with Nikki and that he's trying to counter it so that way all this can stop. And then Ian's like, dude, like, oh my gosh, like, you're just stop. You're being relentless. And then, like, he takes out the One Wish Willow. And then Ben's like, wait, okay. He's like, make a wish that. And then Ian's like, you know what? I wish for $1 billion. Bear's like, no. And then lots of dollars, just billions of dollars, just start falling down from the roof. And then Bear's just like on his knees. He's like, he looks defeated, like he lost, you know. And then he gets another One Wish Willow, and this is where we get our final encounter, right? But before we do that, there was one scene where I felt like it sunk into my seat, right? So there's a scene where where Nikki's crashing out, right? And then, like, they're arguing with each other. And then like, you know, Bear's just like, oh my goodness, like just please just stop, you know, saying this is too much. And then Nikki's just like, I'm sorry, like I love you, like and then, you know, she, oh goodness gracious. Ah, wait, I'm sorry. Oh gosh. Camera fell. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. So she said she's on her knees, right? She says like, I love you and whatnot. That's like she keeps on crying, right? And then Bear's like, I love you too. This girl Nikki just gets up. I'm talking about she busting the moves, bro, like she's in a Thriller video. This girl gets up and moves backwards like, and then just stands, bro. I kid you not, bro. I was in my seat like, oh my gosh, like dude, it was insane, man. Absolutely insane. So then, now we're getting back. Alright, so this is where we get to the climax of the movie. So, Bear, he encounters Nikki one last time. And, you know, Bear's like, Nikki, alright, I need you to do me a favor. You said you'll do anything for me, right? And then, this girl, like I said, in the corner, and then, like I said, full Thriller video, this girl walking like, bro, what in the freak? And then Bear turns around, and then this girl has, like, blood all over, like, tattoos. Like, it looks like the girl's hair that she banged against the brick. And then Bear looks over. This girl has her dead body just laying like that, bro. It's absolutely insane. And then Nikki's like, why won't you love me? You know, like, it's absolutely insane. Like, you can hear kind of like a demonic tone in her voice. But like I said, there's no demon entity confirmed by the director. But, you know, like, man, the whole ending of this movie was just insane. You know what I'm saying? So then Nikki has a gun to her neck, you know what I'm saying? She's yelling, full on screaming at her, right? Screaming at Bear. You know what I'm saying? All just havoc just going on, going crazy. And then, you know, like, Ian shows up. He's like, dude, Bear, the Billy knows, dude, it's real, it's work. Yeah, it's crazy. He's like, and then like he hears the screaming going on inside between Bear and Nikki, and then he goes like, hey, like, what's going on? Are y'all okay? And then he busts through the door. This girl, Nikki, spin move. Ian was like, hey, what's going on? Nikki turns around. I'm talking about, dude, accuracy shot right in the middle of the head. Dead. On the floor. Gone. And then turns back around. Nikki's just full on yelling at her, at Bear. And then like she puts down the gun. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, hey, like, and then it's just like she's so back and forth, man. And then Bear, he has to come to one conclusion left. He has to die. So then he goes into the bathroom. Nikki's just like full on, just like bamming on the door like a mad person. And then she's like, and then Bear says, okay, I'll be out in a minute. And then she's like, and then she stops. He's like, oh, okay. And then Bear's just like, just going through his thoughts, man. And then like, just he had the gun in his mouth, the gun to the head, and like, you know what I'm saying? He had it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't come to that. What he did was that he OD'd. Alright. You know what I'm saying? He got the pills, he OD'd, and then, you know what I'm saying, he, like I said, he's just sitting there, he looks defeated, he's going through his thoughts, you know what I'm saying, and then he puts his fingers in his mouth, he's trying to throw it up, but then it was too late. So then, you know, he walks out the bathroom, he sees Nikki just sitting there, they're both smiling at each other, and then, you know, They get one little last kiss in. They sit down, and then Bear's just he starts to shake, and then Nikki's like, no, what's going on, Bear, oh my goodness, and then like she starts crying. Bear dies, and then Nikki picks up the gun, and when she's about to shoot, the wish gone. The real Nikki shows back up. Y'all remember that one scene in Jujutsu Kaisen where Sukuna was done causing havoc in Shibuya, and then he snaps Yuji back, or switches back with Yuji, and then Yuji just looks distraught at everything around him because he literally saw everything that happened. That's pretty much how Nikki snapped back into reality. Alright, she looks around. She just drops the gun. It's blood everywhere. Everything's all set up. And then she's like, huh. And then pushes Bear's body off. And then she's like, huh. And then, after that, she starts crying. She's yelling, what did you do? And then, after that, credits. There is no post-credit scene. Nothing. That's the end of the movie. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my somewhat explanation of Obsession. But yeah, man. Left me and my mom in the car just in dead silence for a good bit. I was just nothing like... I was just left dumbfounded, man. It was just absolutely insane. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It was amazing. I had a good time. Dude, this is a horror classic that is gonna be nostalgic after a while. Cause like, dude, this feels like a movie that would have came out in at least like in the 90s era. That's what it felt like for me. But I digress, man. It's such a fantastic movie. But yeah, I give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. It was amazing. It was just gut-wrenching, heart-pounding, blood-rushing, adrenaline-rushing movie, man. It was just so freaking insane. And again, like I said, Indy Never Ready, man, deserves an Oscar. Well-deserved Oscar. It was just absolutely incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, that's Obsession. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fire movie. If you went to go see it, I highly advise you go see it. It's just a very wild freaking ride of a film. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to absolutely demolish that like button as well as the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell for more movie reviews like this. I hope you guys enjoyed. And with that being said, Shinobi out.